Imagine looking up at the night sky tonight, and the moon is just gone. No explosion, no warning, no strange flash. 1 second it's there. The next, nothing. At first you might think it's just a cloudy night, but then you realize something terrifying. The moon has completely disappeared. So what would actually happen to Earth? Would the oceans stop moving? Would nights become completely dark? And could humanity survive? Let's find out. The strange thing is, you wouldn't notice immediately. That's because light takes about 1.3 seconds to travel from the moon to Earth. So after the moon vanished, Earth would continue seeing it for just over a second. Then, the moon would disappear from the sky. But nothing dramatic would happen to you yet. You could still walk outside, cars would still drive, cities would keep operating, the Earth would continue spinning exactly as it always has, but one of the biggest forces shaping our planet would suddenly be missing: the moon's gravity. And that's when things would start getting interesting. The moon's gravity is one of the main reasons Earth has tides. As the moon orbits Earth, its gravity pulls on our oceans, creating the familiar rise and fall of sea levels. So if the moon suddenly disappeared, the tides wouldn't disappear completely. That's because the sun also creates tides, but lunar tides are stronger than solar tides. Without the moon, Earth's oceans would gradually settle into a much weaker tidal cycle. Coastal areas that depend on predictable tides could be dramatically affected. Marine ecosystems would be hit especially hard. Many animals have evolved their entire lives around the moon. Some sea creatures time reproduction according to lunar cycles. Certain fish, crabs, turtles, and coral species use changes in light and tides as biological signals. Remove the moon, and you're essentially pulling one of the biggest pieces out of an enormous ecological clock. Now imagine the next night. There's no full moon, no crescent, no moonlight, just darkness. For thousands of years, humans have relied on the moon to illuminate the night. Without it, the natural night sky would become significantly darker, and that would affect more than humans. Predators that hunt using moonlight could change their behavior. Animals that avoid predators during bright nights might become more active. Nocturnal species could gain an advantage, others could struggle. But there would be another huge change: the stars. Without the moon washing out the night sky, people far away from cities would see dramatically more stars. The Milky Way would appear brighter and more detailed. For astronomers, the sky would become a dream. But for Earth's ecosystems, the change could be much more complicated. Here's where things get really serious. The moon does more than create tides. It also helps stabilize the tilt of Earth's rotation. Think of Earth like a spinning top. A spinning top can wobble. Earth can wobble too. The moon's gravity helps keep Earth's axial tilt relatively stable over long periods of time. Without the moon, Earth's tilt could become much more variable over geological timescales, and that could cause enormous changes in climate. Seasons could become far more extreme. Some regions could experience dramatically different temperatures. Ice sheets could expand and retreat. Habitats could shift. Entire ecosystems could move or disappear. But there's an important detail. This would not happen overnight. You wouldn't wake up the next morning to find Antarctica covered in palm trees. These changes would unfold over thousands, millions, or even longer periods of time. So humanity wouldn't immediately freeze or burn. But Earth's long-term climate stability could become much less predictable. There's another effect people often forget. The moon is slowly slowing Earth's rotation. Its gravitational interaction with our planet creates tidal friction. That means Earth's days are gradually getting longer. Very, very slowly. If the moon disappeared, that braking effect would largely disappear too. Earth would continue spinning, but its rotation would no longer be slowed by the moon's tidal influence. Over enormous stretches of time, that would make a difference. But again, this isn't something you'd notice tomorrow. Your 24-hour day would remain essentially the same. So no, the disappearance of the moon wouldn't suddenly make Earth spin faster like a giant cosmic roller coaster. So, Would humanity survive? Almost certainly, at least in the short term. There would be no instant destruction. Earth wouldn't fly out of orbit. The oceans wouldn't suddenly disappear. And gravity wouldn't stop working. But the moon is deeply connected to Earth's natural systems. Over time, ecosystems would change. Tidal environments would transform. Animal behavior would shift. The night sky would become dramatically darker. And Earth's long-term climate could become less stable. Human civilization would probably adapt. But the planet we know today would slowly become a very different place. And perhaps the strangest part is this. The moon looks like a simple rock hanging in the sky. But it has been shaping Earth for billions of years. It influences our oceans, our ecosystems, our nights, our planet's rotation, and even the stability of Earth's climate over enormous stretches of time. So if the moon suddenly disappeared, Earth would still be here. But the world we know would never be quite the same. And that's what makes the moon much more important than it looks. If you enjoyed this thought experiment, subscribe for more what-if scenarios that explore the most incredible possibilities in science. Because sometimes, the strangest questions lead to the most fascinating answers.